Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Bumblebee. I'm a little bit excited about this. As a kid, I played with Transformers, and of course I have enjoyed the Transformer movies. First one was probably the best one. That was the most exciting, most well done. I got a little tired after a while, but now this is like a prequel. This is how Bumblebee came to be. This is supposedly takes place in 1987 when I was playing with Optimus Prime and maybe Bumblebee, but definitely the other ones as well. So Hailee Steinfeld plays in this, and John Cena are also in this, and I think she discovers Bumblebee in a junkyard or something like that. She's about to turn 18, whatever. They forge a relationship, and here comes Bumblebee. IMDb has it at 7.2. It's an hour and 54 minutes long. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Give you a better idea of what's really going on and what do I think. So I'm hoping it's a good one. Let's hope. Alright, I'll get going. I'll be back in a little bit. Hey everybody, let's do a quick check-in here on Bumblebee. We're at the 55-minute 43-second mark. Not a lot to tell from a plot standpoint. I think it's holding true to what I told you earlier. Hailee Steinfeld, her name is Charlie, and she's turning 18. She doesn't have a car. She's working on a Corvette that her and her dad used to work on, and she's trying to find parts, and she finds Bumblebee. They have the whole backstory on how Bumblebee comes to Earth, and why, you know, he's in a junkyard when she finds him. I'll leave that there for you, and you can watch that piece and see how that happens. You don't need me to tell you, but anyway, she finds him and gets him to run. So she brings him home, and of course he comes alive as a robot, and now they've built a friendship together. And they've done a good job of developing it. They didn't move it along too fast. I mean, here we are almost an hour into it, so they took their time and made sure, you know, you get the relationship between the two of them. So that was really well done. You know, they show a little bit of her past, a little bit of his past, and good. And now we can move forward. What's going to happen? I mean, there's other things happening in the background. The Decepticons are trying to find Bumblebee and on Earth. And so that's coming, but the relationship there has been built. So very good on that. The things that I loved, first of all, the number one thing about this movie is the soundtrack. There's a lot of movies that they have in the 80s, or they go back and it takes place in the 80s, and they might play a song or two. You know, I think some movies do a poor job of continuing to play throughout the soundtrack, but this one has been great. It's been hitting the soundtrack every so often, and it's playing all 80s tunes. You know, she's fixing his radio, and she puts in a tape, and like Rick Astley plays. It's hilarious, you know. But everything else, I mean, from Bon Jovi to the Thompson Twins, you name it, they're all in this, which makes it enjoyable. I like it. She has a Walkman. You know, she wears her Walkman all the time, which is a great classic in the 80s. So that aspect of it I really am enjoying, and I think they're doing a great job so far representing the 80s and developing their characters. The area of opportunity I have is, if you've seen Transformers, the movie with Shia LaBeouf, if you remember correctly, his dad takes him shopping for a car, and he gets, you know, a car for his, I don't know if it was 16th birthday or anyway, but he goes and buys a car and then finds out the car is Bumblebee. That's how Transformers starts. Well, this is the same kind of thing. She goes and finds him in a junkyard on her birthday, and he turns into Bumblebee, and now they develop a relationship. So, I mean, I don't know, that's the only thing so far, but otherwise, I like it. I like watching the Transformers. You know, it's not super CGI so far. I mean, there are some parts where Optimus Prime's in it and things like that, but it always takes me back to those days when I watched the cartoons and I played with the cars and Autobots versus Decepticons, and, you know, I don't remember all the characters, but when they bring them out, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. So a lot of fun for those of you who maybe played with Transformers, who likes the 80s, and, you know, maybe saw some of the Transformers movies and are starting, you know, getting old. This one, it doesn't feel the same as one of those movies. I'm not tired of watching the same stuff. This is much better for me. It seems fresher in a sense. I guess because it's a prequel and it's dated back in the 80s. I don't know. But enough about that. I'll get back into it a little bit more John Cena's role is basically the head of maybe the army or something like that, and he's there when Bumblebee arrives on Earth, and then some Decepticons come, so he's kind of caught in the middle. But again, very similar to what had happened in Transformers. I forget the actor's name. I'll think of it later, but he does the same kind of thing, trying to find these robots and contain them or whatever. So, that's the areas where they're pulling a little bit too much from the movie. But anyway, otherwise, it's really good. So, I'll get back to it here. We have just about an hour left. It's an hour and 54 minute long movie. We're at 55 minutes, so if anything else interesting happens, I'll check in again and let you know. If not, I'll see you at the credits and see how it goes from here. Alright, stick around. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Bumblebee, and the rest of the movie kind of went the same as you would expect it to go. The fight to save Earth, and it's Bumblebee versus the Decepticons, really is all it is. A couple of things to point out. I think the government agency that was in Transformers is the same one that John Cena belongs to, and that's all connected. I didn't realize that until I watched it a little bit more. So that piece of it was there, and it's related, so I get that. But they also, if you again remember the first Transformers, they had that party that they went to, Shia LaBeouf went to, kid fell out of a tree, whatever, something like that. Well, very similar scene here. They stumble upon a party of all these kids, and somebody's a bully. So that's the only thing that disappointed me about this film, was that it seemed like they pulled from that a lot. I mean, I get it, they have to be related because at some point Shia LaBeouf finds Bumblebee, but I thought they could have done a better job of mixing those kinds of things up. I know those elements worked in that movie, but not necessarily for this one. Love the retro, all that kind of stuff. Another piece I liked was, I think it's George Lendeborg Jr. Evidently he was also in Spider-Man Homecoming. So I liked him. He plays Memo in this, and he's a guy who's trying to get to know Charlie. And, he's the Megan Fox to Shia LaBeouf in this one. I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but it's the love interest kind of thing that happens here, and they play it off a little bit different. But I liked his character. I liked what he did with his character. I enjoyed him. Laughed at him a little bit. I like John Cena and everything that he's been in. He's always funny. So overall, good, real good. I mean, very good. I think not great because they pulled too much of the plot line and the things from the first one. Even if you remember in the first one, Megan Fox, when she's leaving the car and Bumblebee plays a song, and and he has to go get her. Very similar type situation happens at this party thing. So, maybe it was so long ago they thought they can get away with it, and nobody else would notice. But that's it for me. I think it's definitely worth watching if you like movies that are set in the 80s. If you do like the Transformer movies, even though maybe they wore on you a little bit, I think this one's definitely worth watching anyway. Movies with a lot of CGI and sci-fi movies, this movie's for you. So check it out. Let me know what you think. I mean, again, it has some of the flaws, but I think it's a good comeback from how far they've gone. Even the one with Marky Mark, and I love Marky Mark, Mark Wahlberg. That one wasn't that great either. I was tired of it by then, and I like him a lot. So I thought this one was a good comeback movie for the Transformers series. Not sure where they go from here, but it's worth checking out. So hopefully I didn't waste your time. You learned a little something. Love to hear comments. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.